In the quiet valley of Elah, two armies faced each other, tense and ready for battle. On one side stood the Philistines, on the other, the Israelites. Between them, a towering giant named Goliath advanced day after day, clad in bronze armor and standing over 9 feet tall. His spear was so massive that the iron tip alone weighed more than most swords. His voice boomed through the valley as he mocked and challenged the Israelite army. For 40 days, morning and evening, Goliath repeated his taunts, but no one dared to face him. Fear had gripped the hearts of the people, even King Saul. Into this scene stepped David, a young shepherd boy sent by his father to bring food to his older brothers fighting at the front. He was not a soldier nor trained for war, but when he heard Goliath's defiant voice, he did not feel the same terror that gripped the rest. While others saw an unbeatable opponent, David saw blasphemy against the living God. While others saw an impossible fight, David saw a chance for God's glory to be revealed. Curious and bold, David asked the soldiers what would be done for the man who defeated the giant. The soldiers looked at him as if he were mad. His own brothers tried to silence him, accusing him of pride, but David remained determined. He remembered how he had defended his sheep from a lion and a bear, and he believed God would protect him against this Philistine as well. News of this fearless young man reached King Saul. When Saul saw him, he doubted, for David was just a boy. But David spoke with conviction. "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." With little choice, Saul allowed David to face Goliath. He offered David his own armor, but it was heavy and unfamiliar. David removed it. He would fight the ultimate battle of faith with what he knew best: a shepherd's staff, a sling, and 5 smooth stones. As David approached, Goliath advanced with his armor clanging and his shield-bearer leading the way. Seeing the boy, the giant laughed loudly. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He sneered, cursing David by his gods and promising to feed his body to the birds and wild animals. But David's reply was fierce. "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. And the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." Without hesitation, David ran toward the giant. He didn't wait for the attack. He charged forward. The sling whirled in his hand, the stone flew, and with divine precision, it struck Goliath on the forehead. The mighty warrior fell face down to the ground. Instantly, the roar of the Philistines turned to silence, and the valley that had echoed with the giants' taunts now rang with the victory of a shepherd boy. David stood over him, took the giant's own sword, and ended the fight. The Philistines fled, and Israel chased them, their courage restored. This was more than a military victory. It was a lesson for every generation. David and Goliath is not just an ancient story, it is the ultimate battle of faith, a living testimony that God is greater than any obstacle, no matter how impossible it looks. The same God who gave victory to David is the God who stands with each of us today. Our Goliaths may not be giants in armor. They might be fear, doubt, sickness, debt, or broken relationships. They might be the voice in our minds that tells us we're not enough. But the message remains the same. Don't measure your battle by the size of your enemy. Measure it by the size of your God. David's victory wasn't about his strength or skill. It was about his faith. While everyone else saw Goliath compared to themselves, David compared Goliath to God. That perspective changes everything. The battle was won before the stone ever left the sling because David's trust was already placed in the Lord. And here is something often overlooked. David chose 5 stones, but only needed 1. Some say it was caution. Others believe David was prepared for any challenge, knowing Goliath had brothers. Faith doesn't mean recklessness. It means acting with confidence that God will guide your steps. David's preparation met God's power, creating a moment that would inspire millions for thousands of years. That day, the valley transformed from a place of fear into a place of faith. The enemy's taunts were replaced by the praises of God's people. And the Lord's name was lifted high, not because the odds were in Israel's favor, but because one young man refused to let fear speak louder than faith. So when facing your own battles, remember the boy with the sling and the giant who fell. Remember that the ultimate battle of faith is not about proving yourself to others, but trusting the one who never fails. Stand your ground. Take your stone. Run toward your giant in the name of the Lord, because when God is with you, no enemy can stand. If this story inspired you, please like the video, leave a comment about what stood out most to you, and subscribe for more powerful biblical insights that strengthen your faith.